Well, what could a painter do to fight slavery? Maybe paint pictures that we could show and educate people? Well, maybe. But she took it deeper than that. She lives in northern Thailand, the village of Chiang Mai. And on her way to the studio every day, she saw all these kids who were sleeping on the side of riverbanks. And so she wondered, well, I wonder how they got there. Really young, 11, 12 years old. I was curious, went to the studio, and one day she decided to bring her empty canvases out and took them down to the riverfront and took tins of paint, paintbrushes, and said, here, paint the story of your life on these canvases. I'd like to learn more about it. So the kids start painting, and it's not puppy dogs and rainbows. It's like these nightmares on canvas. She said, you're only 11 or 12. Where do you get these stories? And I said, we're not Thai. We're not from Thailand. We come from Myanmar, Burma. We come from Laos. We come from Cambodia. Some of us come from as far away as China or Vietnam. How did you get here? Our parents sold us sometimes. Other times we were kidnapped. And then sometimes a man came to our village and said that if you go with us, you can go to school in Thailand. No matter how we were deceived into coming, or no matter how we were sold into someone else's care, we were taken to a karaoke bar in Chiang Mai. And there, men from all over the world, men from the United States and from the UK and from Canada, Japan, Korea, China, they would come and do things to us that they would be arrested for doing back in their own country. Unspeakable things, time after time, every night. Kru Nam couldn't believe these are 11 or 12-year-old kids. And he said, how do I stop this? He said, look, there's kids in there now. We're the lucky ones. We're living on the riverbank. That's why we're here. So that night, Kru Nam went to the first karaoke bar she could find. She saw two little boys and a girl talking to an adult client from Europe. Ran up, grabbed the kids, and ran out. It's not the most sophisticated intervention strategy. I do recommend you try this in your own community. The next night, she went into another karaoke bar, saw two little girls talking to an adult client, grabbed them, and ran out. The word got out, there's this wacko woman running around Chiang Mai stealing our kids, right? Stealing our property. Now, when I met her, Kru Nam had 29 kids and no plan. Now, mind you, I have 4 kids, and I never had a plan either. But at least I had a job, right? She had no plan. You see, they're from the ages of 4 all the way up to 17. Word had spread. If anyone can find this crazed woman who's running in and running out of the karaoke bars with kids, take care of her. We cannot have this happen. She's stealing our property. So what she did was she got someone to give her a piece of property. This is up in the Golden Triangle region, if you've been to northern Thailand, where Laos meets Myanmar meets Thailand. And there on this piece of property, they had some lean-to sheds, very poorly constructed. And as you know, if you've ever gone to a village like this, fire is always a danger because the fires of the cooking is done right inside the house oftentimes. And this was just shortly after I was there visiting her. So I said, okay, look, maybe what I can do is I'm going to go back to the United States. I kid you not, I don't make this story up. I was never thinking that Not for Sale would be something we would start. I just said, I know people will read my book and they say, well, what can I do? So I said, I'll say, help me build a village for Kru Nam, for the kids of this village. 29 kids. And so she said, that would be fabulous. That'd be fabulous. Then I could put some houses on this property. So I got home and I'm writing. I'm in chapter 3. I get this message from Kru Nam. David, I've now rescued 53 kids. Okay, that's probably 2 houses now. Okay. Chapter 6. Message from Kru Nam. David, I now have 85 kids rescued. Chapter 8. David, I now have 127 kids rescued. Slow down on the rescues already. For God's sakes, my book's not that good. People are not going to read it that much. So today, with the book coming out and with people responding, we build a village for Kru Nam. We now have 4 houses there, and gosh, we'll probably have to build a 5th one soon. We have 5 houses with a community center. We're able to build a place where the kids can participate and work on the property. They all help each other. We have 5 staff members for 123 kids. Imagine? And the older kids help the younger kids. They all do work. They grew their own rice. It's terrific. Their first rice experimentation on a plot of land that's adjoining the property. 23 tons of rice. It lasted 2 weeks. That's not too bad. Takes a village to cook for these kids, and clean water, and they have a safe home now. All because of the efforts of people like you who say, you know what? We can do something about this. So we can do something. And it gave a sense of hope, in the sense of, okay, if we can do this, maybe we can do some other things. And so Not For Sale was born out of an attempt not only to help Kru Nam in Thailand, but to help young kids that we met in Uganda who had been kidnapped in order to be marauders, be terrorists, to be folks who would raid villages in northern Uganda. I talked about Kru Nam Story. Well, here in Irvine, you have a wonderful nonprofit called Giving Children Hope. They heard about the work that we're doing with Kru Nam and offered to provide enough medicines that we could run a clinic in the north of Thailand, in this area, in this village, not only for the kids of Kru Nam's village, but for the area around it, so that they not become alienated or isolated from their neighbors. So that we send the kids to public schools, we invite them to come to our clinic. It's an exchange. They don't become this kind of removed entity, this island. And it's just a terrific gift. And Giving Children Hope, and Janice is here tonight, who's with Giving Children Hope. A big hand for the work that they're doing here in Irvine area.